See, all right, I'm live.
Okay, I'll just type your name in manually too, just to 100%. Kephra. Okay. K-E-P. Okay.
You see me?
Right, okay, seen it. Seen, check it. Let's see if you are. Okay, you're live. Here we go. I can see you're live.
You see me?
Yep. Okay, there we go.
Okay, but you got a request to join.
Right, just requested. I can see you're live. Just requested it.
Yeah, but you got a request to join.
Okay, the request is coming through. Check that. Okay, I think we're two now. Cool, cool. Pow, guys.
Oh, there's okay. Well, all right. Okay. Yeah, hey, by whose brother? Harry. Mute my audio. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. We're gonna choose one or the other.
Okay. Instagram Live, you can upload into other areas. I know that for sure. So when you do Instagram Live, you can take the file and upload it into Zoom. You can to YouTube and other channels. I know that. Does that help?
Okay. So I'm gonna record
Okay. Just Instagram.
this Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's focus on one. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay. All right. And I guess you'll show me how to record it so we can use this.
Yeah, sure.
Other
I mean, this is recording anyway. As soon as you go live, it's recording. So it's going to go to your IGTV. By the way, at the end of this, make sure you save it when this is finished. So press save, and because some people don't, and they forget that by mistake, or they just don't want to save it. So as long as you save at the end, title it or whatever quickly, it'll be saved.
All right, I'm going to plug my
Yeah, how's it going, bro? Appreciate you inviting me on. And I heard you spoke to Kelly Starr yesterday, or interviewed her.
Yeah, does that look weird?
Yeah, you're side on, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna have to figure this out. All right, I'm gonna have to hold it. Okay. Yeah. So Kelly, did you watch the interview?
No, not yet. I'm going to. Brian sent me the link only yesterday, you see, because I did a post about I just finished editing and not editing, writing my 7th book, and he said, "Hey, this guy Kephra's interviewed Kelly, and he's got all your books." And he's like, "Oh, who's this Kephra?" And I said, "Oh, that guy he's interviewing me today." Like, it's cool.
Right.
So yeah,
All right.
I will watch it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's start it officially. Your name is Harry Matadine. You are my guest today. I'm going to, I'm really gonna just really get into some of the practices. Maybe it was a few weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago where a friend of mine on Instagram had forwarded me one of your posts. As people, I've been promoting urine therapy, and you were actually really into the age urine, and so it was an education for me. So I want to first, why don't you take just a short opportunity to, just briefly introduce yourself. Like I said, I'm getting to know you as they are. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on, bro. My name's Harry Matadine. My brand name is Holistic Health of Harry. Keep it nice and simple. Everything's branded that way. And I got into the health community 4 years ago. And what woke me up into the physical health community, whoosh, was drinking my own pee. So urine therapy. I'm sure the people watching this have heard of it. If they haven't tried it, it's kind of niche, but amazing. I read a book called Your Own Perfect Medicine by Martha Christie, and I was convinced with all the scientific evidence in that it was worth a shot, and I was excited. And I was right to be excited, because when I drank my fresh urine, wow, man, my depression, I thought I'd fixed at that point, just disappeared. I got so much energy from it, from the morning, fresh first of the morning pee. I was excited, bro, because my state of consciousness just whooshed up, and I knew it was free medicine I didn't have to pay any money for, and I could replicate this any day, any time I wanted, because I always make pee. We always wee out our medicine. So that was the beginning 4 years ago, and it made me excited. I went on Facebook, added myself to loads of Facebook groups because I'm a learner, and I heard about aged urine within months, and then it sent me down another path of aged urine. And then Facebook's changed my life, bro. Honest to God, social media, Facebook, if anyone bashes it, it's insane. Because I went down the path of fasting, dry fasting, semen retention, growing your hair long, all kinds of weird shit that we know about, not often white tantra, everything was from Facebook, social media. And I find myself here now, like helping people just like you as a light worker, doing what we can, spread the knowledge, awareness of the truths of what's powerful or not. So that's a brief one.
All right, all right. Yeah, so let's unpack that. Now you said 4 years ago you started this path. Now, I think, because actually I like to play this little game where I try to, estimate your at least your physical age.
All right.
And my guess, but the thing is, I'm prefacing that because from reading your book, I think I figured it out. I think I was in the ballpark, but I would have said early 30s. And
Right.
the,
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
but
you're
the
right.
only reason I would say that is because of the information and the knowledge that you have. So it's like, yeah, I look at you physically. I can say, okay, you might be, you could be 21 or 22 or 25. But I said, no, a 21 or 22 or 25-year-old is not coming with this kind of information.
Yeah.
So yes, so you are officially, how old are you?
I'm 33, 33, bro.
Oh,
And
you're
by the way, thank you so
33.
much. Thank you so much
Wow.
for buying and reading my books. I really appreciate it. It's like my
Right,
condensed
right,
wisdom,
right.
so I'm
No,
completely honored
no,
that you have. Like,
we're gonna get into them. We're gonna get into them. We're gonna get.
cool,
But I
man.
wanted to I
Yeah.
wanted to start with that because before that, just tell us, like, what was your, was it because I know for me, I mean, since I've pretty much been a teenager, I've had some sort of health consciousness. But it sounds like for you, just 4 years ago, I mean, you really got into this like 180-degree flip from what.
Yeah.
So tell us what you were doing and how
Yeah.
it changed. I mean, was it literally overnight, or how did this all happen?
Thanks for asking, bro. No, it's a bit more complicated than that. So I got broken by the system. What happened with me at school is I was normal self-esteem, and I lost my self-esteem at school at puberty, social anxiety, wants to be good with girls, bad with girls, used to hide the toys at school. So I messed my self-esteem up, bro. This was when I was 16, 17. This is about 15, 17 years ago. And I've been on a journey now for 11 years, if I'm being honest. And it was first emotional health, facing my fears and fixing my broken brain, my values, beliefs. So emotional work. Long before I got into physical health, I'm being honest, I did emotional work. I really sought out how I look at life because I was negative. I had to learn to become more positive. But then, as a natural transition, once I'd done the emotional work or enough of it, I just was always curious. And then I got into physical health because I kept reading books. These books changed my life. I feel honored by the way that I wrote books because I'm returning the favor of books that have transformed my life. So yeah, it was actually it was a natural progression, done some emotional work. I'm okay in the brain, kind of. Let's move to physical health. I was always had interest in it, and those books really did change my life. And urine therapy was the one, man, that led me down the path. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but it was for me. It opened the doors.
Well. Talk about your diet then. Your
Yeah,
diet
sure.
in terms of what you were eating 5 years
Yep.
ago, and because I know I mean, you're bringing up the urine, obviously, which we're going to definitely get into the urine. But what was the diet like?
Oh man, oh god. Before I got into physical health, I knew I was the same as everybody else. I thought
Okay.
that I had no idea what was good food. I had no idea what was good food, and also I had no idea about fasting, and I wasn't doing fasting, so I was eating whatever junk my parents gave me, plus snacks. I was eating like, I don't know, 2, 3 meals a day, plus snacks, just a lot of food, with no clue that that was actually part of the reason why I was having such a low level of consciousness. Now, when I got into the urine therapy, that woke me up to the idea, first of all, I learned about fruitarianism, that was interesting. So I learned that, that the meat was bad, and that was kind of cool to transition away from that one. Then I learned about dairy being bad, that was cool to try and transition away from that. So I learned about fruits, that opened my mind. And then I learned about fasting and dry fasting, urine fasting, and all these avenues got me to the point where it wasn't just what I was eating, it was the quantities of what I was eating too. So just taking that down to what I'm on now, which is 1 meal a day. And I try and eat my healthy 1 meal a day, and I don't always succeed, but I try my best, and I'm always consistent with 1 meal a day. Sometimes I do periodic fasting, and it always powerful, man. It's quality of food. It's also quantity. Those are big things with me. Quantity and quality. If you can nail quality and quantity, you will do well. Your vibration will be high. Then you add in urine therapy or liquids, which I think are more powerful than foods, by the way. Foods can disrupt the system, but liquids can disrupt it even more. For example, tap water. Tap water is like you know this, bro. It's a living hell. Like everyone's on tap water, even if they're not drinking it, they're showering it. And what's that? Showering is drinking it. So yeah, I'm huge on that, man. Diet, and I think, to be honest with you, liquid is is better and more powerful than diet in many ways. I think a lot of things are sunlight, all these little things, like.
Right. Okay. So basically, I mean, was the dietary change sort of drastic? I mean, you went from because I mean, do you practice, like, what's your diet? Okay, what's your diet today? I mean, would you consider yourself a raw vegan, fruitarian, vegetarian?
I
Where
want to
you
be
at
a
with it?
fruitarian. Yeah, I want to be fruitarian. I don't think I am. I consider myself a vegan, and sometimes I eat, sometimes very occasionally, dairy. So, I mean, if you're being really dogmatic about it, I guess I'm not even vegan, but I consider myself a vegan anyway. And
Okay.
I try my best with raw vegan. I'm pretty good with that, pretty consistent. So that's what I shoot for. However, if I'm being honest too, when people hit me up and are interested in urine therapy, I don't really, what's the word for it? I don't really judge them. I just say, hey, because I started on a rubbish diet, 3 meals a day, and was eating way too much. It didn't work for me. So I'm trying my best not to get better at not judging people. But for me personally, I think fruitarianism and veganism is definitely the way. I think it's one way to be healthy. Maybe there's other ways out there that I might experiment with in the future. But I've learned so far that being fruits and being raw is definitely. It's hard to argue against that, when you've had experiences of it. Like it's really powerful.
Okay. So with the, you mentioned you're changing your diet, and then obviously you got into the urine. Did that happen at the same time?
Right, so urine was before diet. Urine is what woke me up to every single other health protocol, including the fact that fruits and all that. Urine was the one, bro. It got me in. Yeah, I went into
I mean,
Facebook. Yeah.
that's, and it's funny you say that, because people often say that I need to clean up my diet before I drink my own urine. I mean, they understand the idea. It's like, okay, my urine is healthy for me. But then they
Yeah.
say, well, I eat crap. So, but you actually
Right.
were eating crap, and you started
Exactly.
with your urine.
Yes, and it
So,
worked really well, even though I
so
was eating crap.
because I even noticed, I mean, I've been eating this way over 2 decades. And when I started doing my urine, it actually changed my taste buds within the raw. Like, so it's really, so I want to hear, like, I mean, what was the urine like? I mean, because you definitely notice a taste with what you eat. Because
Yes.
when you're taking in your urine, you're basically re-ingesting what you've ate the previous day.
Yep.
So how did that? So did the urine taste really bad when you had a bad diet, and
Yep.
then it kind of forced you to change your diet? I mean, I'm assuming that that's what happened.
Exactly, and that's the way for many people. It's going to taste nasty, but still doesn't mean you shouldn't take it. And by the way, there's ways around a nasty tasting bad diet urine. So you could put it on your skin, so and still get that medicine in. But then, if I'm being honest too, when we moved to the field from fresh, which is already a shock to a lot of people, to aged urine, which is what I'm big at, it's my specialty. Then you start living in the realms of aged urine is powerful despite diet, that's where you go into the realms of like, even if you are on a shitty diet and your urine ages, it becomes high quality power shit. Doesn't matter what you eat. I'm not saying it don't care about what you eat. I'm not saying that. I'm just making a point that aged urine, for whatever reason, when you basically this urine, when it contained in a vessel, open lid, closed lid, I don't subscribe to dogma, it still ages anyway, it becomes really powerful after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You drink it, you put it on your skin, you put it up your bum, you put it through your nose, you inject it, some people do. But whatever way you take it in, man, the aged urine seems to, it's just one of the most powerful medicines in the world, bro. That's free too. I mean, there's not many free, powerful medicines that I've come across yet in my journeys that are more powerful than that.
Well, I mean, I mean, the thing is like, I mean, from my standpoint, it's like I'm hearing your story, and it's like, I mean, I don't think it's unlike anything I will ever hear, because it's like you went straight. I mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, you started with the urine before you changed your diet.
Yeah, yeah, man.
That is interesting. I mean, where see, for me, I've known about urine therapy probably for at least 20 years. And I've never done it because I'm like, well, I don't have to, I'm eating the healthiest diet possible. So it's like, why do I need to drink my own urine? I mean,
Right.
what do you say to that? I mean, maybe I should talk about that, but I mean, I'm gonna give my take, but I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Good question, though. You have a point. I feel like if you're eating really clean all the time and you're consistent with it, and you know you're healthy, I do feel for you, because I've heard stories and it makes sense to me. Sometimes the fresh urine, you won't feel a vibration shift. If you're already healthy and you drink fresh urine, fresh, not aged, you won't see the vibration shift. That's why I'm so focused on the aged urine, because even if you are clean, like you say, and you're eating perfect, you wait till you try the aged urine, you drink a little bit of a month's old, you put a month's old on your skin. Jesus, that would take you to a level of consciousness. There's no limit, bro. We know this. There's no limit to how much work we got to do, how much level of consciousness. So to answer your question, yeah, man, I hear it. By the way, your story is not uncommon. Some people say that they are clean, and I get that. But there's always next levels with the aged urine. It's an ultimate fountain of youth, man. I mean, even the Buddha quote. I quote the Buddhist, man. Like, I don't have the top of my head, but if you look at my second book, I quoted the Buddha. Like, he's put 4 quotes out there that he was on aged urine, man. He recommended it as a high quality medicine for everyone. It's really powerful.
Yeah. So, well, I guess it's a good time for me to share a little. I mean, for those that haven't seen my, because I did a video on YouTube, and I talked about basically, because I've been essentially drinking coconut water as my only water for at least 16, 17 years. And I don't know, something spoke to me last year, in the middle of last year. It's like, I need to look into this urine further. I just kept hearing about it. And I saw a post, and I said, so I ordered all the books that I could find on it. And then went for it. And obviously, you hear about the morning urine, and the morning urine being the most powerful. So literally the first time, I mean, I've had my urine over the years, I've tasted it. I'm like, well, I didn't really, it wasn't really like, oh, something magical, but it wasn't until I drunk my entire first morning urine. Yeah. Maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, 4 months ago now. And literally about 15 minutes later, I'm feeling this euphoria and this bliss and this energy that I've never felt before.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was completely like, not ready for that. I didn't. And then, the next day it was the same thing. And then the next day it was the same thing. And I'm just like, wow. So it obviously inspired me to not promote it, to tell people, like, because again, like I said, I mean, I think for people like me who have been living this lifestyle, raw vegan or raw foods, doing fasting, like it's just a part of your lifestyle. But then the urine, and then especially, people into herbs and all these things. I mean, nothing tops the urine. Because
exactly.
one thing one thing that a message that came to me was that as great as all of these foods that I eat are,
Mm.
none of these things are a part of me. So
Yeah.
it's almost like when I ingest it and then re-ingest it from the urine, then I'm able to it's familiar now. And
Mm.
all of the nutrients and the hormones and the minerals really become, again, it's familiar. It's part of me. It's
Yeah.
it's it's the water, my own water that I make for myself. So very, very powerful stuff. And then obviously, and it's funny because since I've started this, I've been aging urine, right? And then,
Yeah.
somebody showed me your post, and I'm like, wow, aged urine. And I immediately ordered your books. I got aged
Oh,
urine,
thanks. Hey,
the
thanks, man.
story of the century, and then
Yeah.
aged urine
Rediscovery.
rediscovery.
Like the titles.
Right. Very original. Now, okay, so I mean, we're gonna talk about that, but I just want to share my first experience. So obviously, I had to try. I had this urine that I've been aging for months, and I said, well, I gotta try it. And
Yeah.
man, it was like that first moment where I felt it like 15 minutes later. I
Mm.
mean, it wasn't even 15 seconds. It was literally as it was going down, I could feel the electricity in my
Yeah.
body. It was
Right?
just like super
Mm.
duper charged. So explain to the people
Yeah.
what was happening when I was drinking my aged urine.
Oh man, I mean, Jesus Christ. The aged urine, right? What I reckon it is there's loads of different fruits. Like one of them is like, do you know Jared Pollock's four phase of water? You heard of the structured water?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Right, okay, so one reason I reckon the main reason fresh urine is so powerful is it's structured water. Because if you watch when it comes out of your little willy or whatever it comes out of, you can look, it's like a little vortex. So it's structured. But what happens with the aged urine is, as it ages, each day it gets more structured. So it becomes not just four phase of water, it becomes uber super fucking structured to a level that is ridiculous. What that means is what you said, Kephra. It means it becomes electrically charged. It becomes a vessel of extreme electricity, extreme amount of negative ions. The things that your body thrives on, your electric energy, you are just re-ingesting back into your body. So this uber super structured water, first of all, it gives you a shit ton of energy. It makes the ATP cycle motor go crazy, but also because it's negatively charged, it pulls out anything that's in the body that's the opposite charge that shouldn't be there, which is a lot of crap. Would that be parasites? Would that be toxins from tap water? Would that be junk food? Whatever toxins have been hiding, and not just surface level, deep level shit. Especially if you fast of the aged urine too. It just goes, it's like a vessel to give you energy in one hand, and second, it pulls away, it pulls out, it does a detoxification specialist. If you talk about these Dr. Morse detoxification specialists, it's a shame Dr. Morse, not going to bash him, doesn't like urine therapy, because the ultimate detoxification specialist weapon in anyone's arsenal, for me, should be aged urine, because that's what it does. It's a superpower detoxifier and
So
superpower energy system.
so how long were you drinking? Because I mean, you started with the fresh, and obviously, most of the literature out there will say, okay, you age urine. So I mean, just tell us what is age urine? How is it different than fresh?
Sure. Well, aged urine is anything from, we say, from 4 days on, but if we're being honest, it's just a fresh urine that's sitting there, because mainstream and Google will tell you that after 15 seconds it's got lots of bacteria, the urine. Don't drink it. It might be sterile when it's fresh, but what happens actually is the power just grows of this aged urine. So it could be anything from 4 days to 7 days to a week. I don't subscribe to dogma, if I'm honest with you, Kephra. I'm like, okay, so you've got 2 weeks old for aged urine, use it. If you've got 4 weeks old, you do what you can. And it's not hard to do what you can, because all I'm saying to people is just piss in a bottle and hide it away somewhere with the lid closed and come back to it in 4 weeks, a month, 6 months. And that's not like waste, that's like power shit like you experience. If you just pee in a bottle, forget about it, and pee in loads of bottles, because what you're going to do with that medicine, you're probably going to waste it anyway. Pee in it, hide it, put it around, close the lid. It's just going to become powerful. And then I'm messing about now with 6 months old aged, and I put it on my face today, and I'll tell you what, when I put 6 month aged in my face goes darker and my skin becomes pure, and it starts blissing out with light. And that's why people think I look younger than I actually am, because of the aged urine on my face. There's a lot of other things, but it's mainly that, if I'm being honest. It's mainly the age. It really does make it look good.
All right. Well. That's interesting. Let's just segue into that, because for those of you who read Arnold Ehret's masterpiece, Muculus Diet Healing System, in that book, I don't know if it's page 41 or 43, he talks about his theory of the white race or the European or whatever, and I just find it interesting. You actually live in Europe.
Mm,
You are obviously European of a white race, I assume. And but you post about this. You're very vocal about this. So just share it, because obviously his theory is
mm,
for those who haven't read it, is that from a lot of mucus forming foods, it basically robs your melanin, and it'll
yeah,
rob your color, really rob your light. I like the word light, because if we're eating like rich melanated foods, those are foods that are full of light. So if you're eating obviously a lot of mucus like bread and cooked starches, what's the other? Oh, dairy.
yeah,
Things like heavy mucus formers. Those things are going to rob your melanin. So just share with us,
yeah,
just reading that,
yep,
how you, because I mean, Professor Ehret even talked about like how, following a muculus diet, how he was often uh, I guess assumed to be of Indian or something like that, because again he didn't eat a mucus forming diet. So yeah, just talk to us about that.
So I agree with you, and I agree with Eric. And this is not just reading the book, which, by the way, I've read that book and it's great. I've my own experiences. What I can say is that, by the way, I'm not saying you're going to change skin color because that's ridiculous. What
Right.
I'm saying
Okay.
is that your skin color varies massively for your
Mm,
variation. So you can observe. Well, you go darker when you do the right health protocols, and you go lighter skinned when you're pale. This makes sense. When we're pale,
interesting.
people pale
Yes.
fright and all that stuff. So one thing that
Yes.
I noticed is when I go 100% fruits, my skin goes darker. When I'm doing
Mm,
fasting, my skin goes darker. Everyone
mm,
here is going to notice when they get in the sun, in the midday sun, what
mm.
does the sun do? It doesn't lighten your skin. The sun
Right.
makes it darker. But another
Interesting.
one, right?
Interesting.
Another one that makes the skin darker is fresh urine, but especially and really obviously aged urine, because when you put aged
Well,
urine on your skin, it makes it dark, man.
well,
So dark.
the age urine gets darker.
Mm. Yes. Yeah,
The age
exactly.
urine
That's true, isn't it?
darkens.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw it was a post you had your bottle. Now let's get into that, because with the fresh urine, I mean, I was drinking. I mean, I find that I only need to drink about 8 ounces,
Mm.
which I don't know in milliliters what that amounts to, but 8 ounces is probably about this in a cup,
Okay.
if you can imagine. So it looks like you drink probably, I think, at least double that amount, you personally. So
Um,
how much of
I'm
it
doing
do
a lot
you?
of the aged. I do a lot of the aged, and I drink a lot of the aged if I can. It depends. It depends, bro, how much I stored away, how behind I am. Like, I'm trying to do a little less now. I make it go further. I'm very tactical. So one way I make a little go much further is I put it on the skin. I massage a lot into the skin because that way it
Okay,
doesn't lose anything. If you drink
okay,
aged urine, it kind of a little bit's taken away from digestive system. So I'm working protocols where I'm trying to maximize the medicine that I've got because I've got 6 months old. I've got real power shit. And I don't want to waste it. And it's not wasting it drinking it. I'm just trying to figure out the best protocols for me. But yeah, I've been facing my life where I've drunk a lot of aged urine. And every phase of my life when the more aged urine you get in your system, the more healthy you become. This is not
mm.
like this is for everyone. Like this is what happens when you drink it, when you put it in your skin, you put it up above the enemas. I don't know if you tried aged urine enemas, man. That is a game changer. That's a game changer right there.
No, I have not tried aged urine enemas. Not yet. I mean, I can't say that I won't try it, but yeah, you talk about that in your book. I think it was 5 ways. Obviously, you mentioned the skin, drinking it, um, the ears,
Up the nose. Yeah, up the
up the
nose. Yeah.
nose,
Ears,
right?
eyes. Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
obviously, as you say, the bum.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then obviously your eyes too, right? For those of you
Yep.
trying to like keep your eye health. Wow. Wow. Okay. So So question, you mentioned something about well, before I ask that question, how what's your day like in terms of like I drink my urine obviously the first half of the day, and then the second half of the day is when I have my meal and I drink my other juices and things like that. How is it that you incorporate it within your day as far as eating and
Yep.
drinking and otherwise?
That's a really good question because I'm a huge believer in dry fasting, if I'm being honest. So I don't tend to break dry fasts with aged urine. I'll eat and break a dry fast. And then after I've eaten my 1 meal a day, I'll go to the aged urine protocols. Now, I also know that aged urine is a bit smelly and I don't want to offend people because people around me, my parents don't approve of it. And I know it's just not nice to expose yourself. So I've got tactics. And one of them is I do aged urine rubs at nighttime before bed. I know
Okay.
it's going to seep into my skin, so I'm really big on that. At nighttime, if I do that, I'm going to get the best dreams, bro. When you do aged urine on your face, because it gets into when you do it on your brain, your forehead at night, it's like a DMT release. You're going to get major amount
Okay.
lucid dreaming and vivid
Okay.
dreams. There's loads of tactical shit that I do that is smart, and I've learned them all from the Facebook community. It's not even me, and my experience after listening to people on Facebook and then passing on the wisdom to other people.
Okay, so you're doing the aged. You said you do dry, and then do you drink the
Dry
age at
fasting.
night or you drink the age in the morning?
I drink it aged after I've eaten food. Like I'll eat food and then
Why?
I'll about 2 hours later or something I'll drink the aged urine. Even though I know that people would say, "Oh, that's alkaline," and don't put it into the acid because your stomach's acid, isn't it? So I hear the paradoxes.
So why do you drink after you eat? I mean, I've always done things
Mm,
opposite. Like what I like to
mm.
get in my stomach first, which is the urine. That's the first thing I ingest on an empty stomach, and then I'll eat. So that's interesting. Why, I just want to hear your
Yeah,
thoughts on that.
just because I've experienced a lot of the power of dry fasting, bro. I did once, well, a year and a half ago, I went 7.5 days hard dry fast, and I know the power of the dry fast. And I want to work as many different protocols into my daily schedule. So I'll do 1 meal a day, I'll do dry fasting, I'll do aged urine, I'll do my urine therapy within a small window of the feeding window. I want to work as many things as possible. Without being too extreme, because I know that we can be considered extreme with what we do in our health protocols, so I don't want to be too extreme. But yeah, I try and work as many of them. And dry fasting for me, bro, is like amazing too. It really is. I get a lot of energy. I get a lot of clarity in my mind when I'm any 16 hours into a hard dry fast. I'm like, ooh, I'm on point. I love it. I love that feeling.
Okay, but my question is like in turn like after you've eaten, you're drinking aged urine like two hours after your meal.
Yeah, sometimes less. Sometimes even 1 hour. 1 hour after.
Okay,
And
so what does
I
that
know.
do?
Yeah. So that to me, by the way, as soon as anyone does drink aged urine, the first thing everyone will notice, doesn't matter what time you do it, is your breath will slow down. That's number one. And not just a little bit, like quite a shocking, I'm sure you experienced it, quite a shocking amount a lot. Your breath's like, whoosh. So, example, if I was to eat and eat even half an hour later, drink some aged, first of all, my breath slows down. And that helps with the digestion because now you're in rest and digest parasympathetic mode. And that's essential for digestion. So I know that whenever I drink the aged after food, it seems to work its magic. It slows the breath down. My consciousness level changes. It speeds up, ironically, digestion. And it also helps with I just figured out it works, man. For me, aged urine works at any time of day. You can play around with it. Like you
Okay,
can play around,
okay.
do it in the
Whatever,
morning, do it at
however,
nighttime.
right,
Yeah.
however it works for you. However it works for you. Okay, got it, got it. Now you did mention, and I'm glad. My next question is like basically, given I actually have some of my aged urine, and
Nice.
so I'm gonna show
Show
the
the people,
folks.
man.
So,
Show the
show the
people.
folks.
Yeah, show.
So my question is, if you notice, what is that?
Ah, oh, okay, that stuff.
What
Oh
is
man,
that?
look, I'm not going to claim to be an expert here because there's so many different opinions. Like, if you can go with the Dr. Morse, it's sediment. I'm down with that. You can go with the urine therapy crowd and say that it's ormus. I'm down with that too. And I really want to believe it's something magical. What I do know is that I do know this: people drink it and I drink it, and it doesn't affect you in a negative way at all. The aged is just magical, whether that be the top of it, the middle of it, the shitty stuff at the bottom. But to answer your question, bro, I think we need science involved, man. We need some kind of like clarification on that because I don't even know. I just know it's not bad for you. It's not bad,
Okay,
whatever it is.
okay. I thought I saw somewhere where you mentioned something it had to do something with your kidneys.
Yeah, that's what people say, like kidney filtration, like Dr. Morse, and they might be right, like, because it seems to come across more when you dry fast, and when you dry fast, your lymphatic system, your kidneys are filtering better, so then there seems to be more of this white stuff at the bottom. So I'm down with that idea. Maybe it is some sediment, like maybe it is that stuff, and maybe it's not ormus, as the urine therapy want to say. I love to believe it's ormus, but hey, bro, it might not be fucking magical shit. It might be some kind of waste. What I do know is it's wrong focus, because urine therapy has got a little bit of waste, 0.001%, and it's got 99.99% magic. So anyone that comes here and tells me or anyone else, but yeah, it's bad stuff in it, you're focusing on the wrong thing. What are you going to focus on? Life is about happiness. 99.9% of people are awesome, and life's amazing. You're going to focus on the bad shit, or you're going to focus on the good shit, right?
Well, it's all good. Even the 0.001 bad.
Right.
It's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. So what you know, obviously, you know, people listening to this may say like this is beyond extreme. Even eating raw, you know, is something that you know. So what motivates you? What drives you? What inspires you to do this? I mean, it's one thing even to do the urine, but then even to do the age urine is like, you know,
Yep.
that again, it's just a whole nother. So what motivates you?
Oh man, what motivates me is what I've been through and the levels of depression and suicidal thoughts and just not wanting to be here, bro. So I know that there's a lot of levels of consciousness that we can play around with. When I started getting to urine therapy, that level of consciousness to fresh urine only was a massive jump. Bro, just before urine therapy, I was drinking tap water. I knew nothing about health. Like, this is shocking shit that I'm confessing here. Like, I was on tap water. So that woke me up. And then the aged urine, I mean, it's almost like I believe that I was chosen, man. I believe I chose to come down here for aged urine to promote that. Loads of other things. I'm not just one thing. Although I've got one main thing, which is I've written books on aged urine, and I believe I've come here to because I was hardcore. My personality is pretty hardcore. I will do the stuff that other people won't do in the aspects of drinking and putting smelly shit on my face because it works, bro. Because we've been lied to. We've been lied to about it.
Right. So and then you mentioned the negative ions. I guess we can touch on that.
Yep.
So with that, you're referencing obviously the electrons that we find in like antioxidant foods, electrolytes. We find it in things like coconut water and things like chocolate. Things that have like the electricity to reduce or eliminate the positive charge inflammation in the body. You've actually even written a book on it. I don't have that book, but yeah, just talk to us about that. And as far as in reference to the urine.
Yeah, so negative ions is electric energy, and like you said, all the foods that are natural have this electric energy in them. However, your body, your urine, also has this electric potential charge to a degree that's actually higher than the food. So the natural food has negative ions in it to a degree, but your own fresh urine has more, because it's a liquid substance, your own body, it has more negative ions. And then the aged urine, definitely 100%, it proliferates. The amount of negative ions as the urine gets older grows, and I can prove it. You can prove it. Go and buy an Orc meter which measures the negative ions, and you'll see your Orc meter reading of negative ions changes as the urine. So I'm not just saying something. Go and buy an Orc meter, pee in the bottle, pee in the urine bottle, and keep checking every day. The number grow up and up and up.
Wow.
So basically, what we're saying is that negative ion proliferates as the urine ages. It's one of the main reasons it's so powerful. And that negative ions is, like you said earlier, it's electric energy. We're electric beings. When people get unhealthy when they lose their electricity, with aged urine, you're just bombing yourself with loads of electric energy. You're like a Tesla thing, man. You're like giving yourself high frequency electric energy all through.
Yes,
Didn't you say something earlier about you drunk the aged ones at the beginning? You felt electric energy for your body? Because I resonate with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like liquid fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like literally liquid fire, like just, and I could feel it going down my throat into my chest, and I gotta admit, you know, doing the couple of month old urine, my stomach would feel a little queasy
Yes.
for a few
Yep.
minutes, but
Yeah.
it still did not take away from the power that I felt, the energy. I mean, right away, it was immediate like response. Again, I you know, the analogy I draw is like the fresh urine is like kind of like a wine cooler
Yeah.
and the dark age urine is like Pastor Cavassier, the deep
Yeah.
cognac, deep dark liquor, the strong liquor that is
Yeah.
actually healing you beyond anything that you can even imagine.
Yep.
So one thing
It's true.
I just wanna make that point, and as far as just urine therapy in general, is that you know what I've learned from this, just personally, not from books and not just my own experience, and really being about this life for, again, just for 30 years, that I can honestly say that there's no powerful health remedy. There's none that, like, that's at the top of the list. I mean, we haven't even talked about because I mean, generally the thing is that most people, when they think of urine therapy, they're trying to heal. They're trying to heal themselves of like cancer and
Yes. Yep.
kidney disease and things that whether it's topically or internally, like life debilitating. I mean, we're talking about the urine, and really it's taking us and really discovering our natural human superpowers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you mentioned in your book, it was a testimonial, I believe, where someone was actually able to open up their psychic ability, their
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, because this girl was already kind of a psychic and really into that stuff. And the way I look at it, and the easy way to explain it is, everyone comes here with gifts and masteries, and especially us as light workers watching this in the communities. You've all got your own gifts and masteries, emotional, spiritual, physical health. What it does, the age you're in, is it lights you up, and it just magnifies your strength and personality that you always had, that maybe you were too scared to unlock, or you thought, I'm a good at this. It just takes you to a next level, bro. So if you're a deep thinker, guess what? You start doing aged urine, you're going to start having deep thoughts times a million. If you're really into psychic abilities and you're already like a clairvoyant or whatever you want, you're just going to magnify that skill and make it whatever easier. And did with this girl, because she was already into that stuff and already good at it, but she struggled to access it all the time. But when she was on the aged urine, it took her to that place, that place where she was what she already was. It just took her faster into that stuff. It magnifies everything to a degree. I struggle actually to see the only way that you could say aged urine is not powerful is some people get muddled up. Some people, the detoxification reaction, sometimes when something's so powerful, it can make you feel ill before you get better because you're full of
Right,
toxicity, and that's
right,
okay.
right.
But then people say, oh, it doesn't work. It made me feel worse. Yeah, because it's so powerful. It's just chucked a load of toxins from deep within into your bloodstream, and you're blaming the medicine. So that's the only way aged urine is not powerful, because some people don't see the realities of what it's doing. It's healing you. It's detoxifying you. It's so fucking powerful.
All right, let's shift gears for a second. I'm looking at the other books that you've written. And well, first, before I ask you that, like, you've written, why did you write, two books on aged urine? Um, and this
Yeah,
was, I mean, well, no, before I even ask that,
yeah,
like, what, because I hadn't heard, I've read at least 5 or 6 different books talking about urine therapy. Not one of them mentioned drinking the aged. How did
yes.
you say it's the discovery of the century? How did you discover this? Who?
Oh man.
How did the message come to you?
Thank you, bro, and thanks for saying that. It's true. Most of the urine therapies out there don't talk about the aged urine, and this is why I had to, because when I received this knowledge from Facebook groups and from Monica Shute, I don't know if you know Monica Shute. She's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh man,
Kelly Star mentioned her in our interview.
she's the one that was promoting it so heavy. She's disappeared a little because she's busy now, but at the time when I was into it 3 or 4 years ago, she was talking about aged urine. She was promoting it so heavily, and that one, man, that was like, oh my god. Do you know? I realized there was a market. No one had talked about. I'd experienced to this point where before I wrote a book, I had 2 years of aged urine experiences. No one was talking about it. No one had wrote a book specifically on it. So I saw an opportunity because I had to, man. I feel like when something changes your life so much, the aged urine, when
Right,
it's so powerful, you owe it to yourself to write a book on it or to
right, right,
promote it even to your
right,
friendship circles.
right. Okay, and that's what it was. Okay. And you've been doing. How long have you been doing? How long have you been doing? So you've been doing the urine for about 4 years in total.
Yeah.
And then how long for the aged urine?
3.5 within 6 months of doing it fresh. And
Okay.
once you do it, man, you don't go back. Like I did not go back.
Right,
I just
right,
like
right.
I
So
abandoned fresh urine. I abandoned fresh urine a little
really,
bit, but yeah, I've abandoned
really,
it a little bit to the aged. Yeah, it's more powerful,
wow,
man.
wow,
I have.
wow. Because I mean, for me right now, I mean, I definitely, I mean, I don't, I do have to like, get myself kind of. I mean, the fresh urine obviously is like absolutely no problem. I actually really do look forward to drinking. But the aged urine, I have to like, all right, get ready, and I just I have to kind of, but I mean, literally after I drink it, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so fantastic and so
Yeah.
wonderful. So I'm not quite there yet. So I do, and I still do, I do a small cup of the age because it's like, look, this is all I need. I can't feel any better. So it's like, and so I feel better. I feel good doing that along with the fresh air. Because the other thing too is like you get into this. I mean, do you collect all of your urine?
Okay, I would love to say that I do, and I'd be lying to say if I do too. I mean, I think
Okay.
it's a good idea. And by the way, people should use it in compost, aged urine, fresh urine in compost if they can't collect all of it, and put it in the plants and the ground as we was meant to. But no,
Ah,
to answer your
okay.
question, I don't because I mean I've been phases when I do loop the urine fasting, looping urine is legit. Like drinking all your urine is very powerful too, not wasting a little drop. I've done that
Right.
in phases, and I might go back to the future. But I'm like I said to you earlier, I personally am in the dry fasting realm too. So I know that I can't do drinking all my urine in dry fasting. That doesn't really work because that's a wet
Right.
substance with a dry thing. So, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do save as much as possible. I've got plenty stashes now because I still live with my parents at the moment. I've got plenty stashes of aged urine all over the place, hidden away. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just collecting like loads of bottles, bro, that are just off popping like all over the place.
Okay. Okay. So and then you promote these other protocols as well. Let's talk about and you've written a book on sun gazing.
Right.
So just talk to us briefly. Give us a brief on how you practice it. I mean, it seems like you practice. I'm following you on Instagram. You practicing it almost daily or daily. I would assume.
I try my best. I live when I'm in the UK and I'm living in the UK now. I do cloud gazing when I don't do sun gazing because obviously there's not a lot
Cloud
of sun here.
gazing. Wow, I
Cloud
never
gazing is a whole
even
different ball
heard
game, bro.
cloud
Yeah,
gazing. Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've got to promote that one more because people assume that because can't see the sun. Obviously, you can't do sun gazing if there's no sun, so you can
Right.
still look up at the
Right.
clouds because the medicine from the sun goes through the clouds. But your most important photoreceptor of light is your eyes. So when you look down, you receive a little less light outside. When you look straight, it's okay. But when you look
Uh-huh.
up to the clouds, guess what? You're giving your eyes the most medicine possible. So I'm huge on cloud gazing and
Interesting.
sun gazing. And when they
Yeah.
can, sun gaze. And by the way, bro, we can do this at any time of the day. I don't subscribe to dogma. I mean, I know there's protocols out there where you can only do it at sunrise, sunset. That's not
Right.
true.
Right.
I started on midday sun gazing, and it's powerful shit. You can do it
Oh,
anytime you want to
okay. So
with it.
with that being said, I mean, I do have a friend who practiced midday sun gazing and did damage her eye somewhat. It did heal,
Mm,
but it took maybe a few months. But I think she overdid it. So with that being
right.
said, I mean, is it like I'm pretty sure it's like, look, you don't stare into the afternoon sun for 2 hours. I'm pretty sure you don't do that. So
Well, I live in the UK, so I mean, and the sun's not strong here, so I'm not talking about the tropical countries. So I
okay,
can imagine if you did 2 hours in the tropical countries every day, then of course you might. I mean, but
right.
also, bro, I'm being honest with you, it depended. If you're really healthy, I think you can take it. I mean, it depends on your level of health. You can work your way
Hmm.
up, and if you're
Hmm.
not as healthy, then you might struggle, and it might do something bad. But I don't think it permanently damages you. I don't believe it permanently damages you. Like your friend said, you can recover from these accidents and mistakes.
Right, right. Okay. And what would you say is the number one benefit to sun gazing or cloud gazing?
Wow.
Um,
Okay. Number one, number one benefit: cloud gazing, sun gazing. It decalcifies the pineal, regrows, and it makes bigger your pineal gland, your spiritual center. That means that now you've got opportunities to magnify all the magical elements that you came here to do. With a bigger pineal, you are now literally woke. You can now see the realities for what. With a bigger pineal, you can now produce more DMT at nighttime for more vivid dream making. More DMT, the God molecule. What does that mean? You become more like God. You literally, from sun gazing, cloud gazing, you become more godlike. You get a bigger pineal. Because the whole conspiracy, I believe, now is to calcify and make your pineal tiny, your third eye. They don't want you to know about the power of your third eye. You blast open the third eye with sun gazing and cloud gazing, bro. You know, it's powerful shit.
Okay, wonderful, great, great, great stuff. So if you had to, what are some other, like, tell us about the book you just finished.
Right, so I've finished my seventh book. It's I don't know if people are going to interested in this topic. It's semen retention
Oh
for
yeah, that's
guys, obviously.
big. That's big.
Yeah,
You got to talk about it.
respect, man. Yeah, semen retention and two in one because I wanted to. I want to do a lot of books. I just want to do two in one on this one. Semen retention, the power of growing your hair long. Which obviously I know my hair's not long right now, but I know the power, and I've had times when it's a powerful health protocol. These two, it's really magical. Both of them, like semen retention for guys is essential. Like for elevation of consciousness, like each ejaculation we give out is a drop in consciousness. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. We're just trying our best. So we got to keep focusing on that, and that includes ejaculation with a partner, like white tantra, keeping the seed in, sending the seed up. It's huge. But also, the growing the hair long is another one that we've been told. We've just not been told the power of it. We've not been told the power of our hair antenna. This is our spiritual antenna, an
Right,
extension of our
right,
nervous system, man. This connects us to
right,
our God too, and we're chopping it
right,
off way too much, I believe.
right. Well, these are powerful, powerful practices. You mentioned all of the, and obviously with diet, with urine, again, semen retention, sun gazing or cloud gazing. That's a new term
Yeah.
for me. Um, what's the other one? The negative ions. I mean, so with the negative ions, I mean, I think it's good to mention the fact that, pretty sure you practice grounding and earthing.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. That's a
Yeah.
huge one for negative ions. Holy shit.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right, right. So again, doing that while sun gazing or
Wow.
cloud gazing, connected to the
Yep.
earth. Is there any physical, I personally like to do what I call earth yoga. I mean, is there a
Mm.
physical, you practice qigong. I know you do the meditation, yoga, and if so, how does it fit within your other protocols?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of exercise, bro. I've been doing exercise even before physical health. I've been doing exercise every single day because I found it elevated my consciousness level. So that's huge. I mean, I just come out of doing yoga before I spoke to you about half an hour before, 45 minute set. I
Nice,
try and do that
nice.
every day, and
Okay.
do you know what? Qigong is amazing, man. I haven't even tried
Right.
Qigong. I can't wait to try that. I'm
Okay.
excited to try Qigong.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, again, I mean, all of these things, I mean, we find that they all come together and they all work
Hmm.
together. And I think that, it's like, any protocol, again, they all feed each other. So the thing is
Yeah.
that while they're all powerful, and if you had to, I mean, I asked Kelly Starr this question,
Yeah.
if you had to order in terms of its power, all of these protocols, how would you rank them?
Oh, okay. For all the protocols that I do, that I think is the most important, I'd put. That's a really interesting question. Okay, number one and two. I'm not sure which order though, but one and two maybe equal is fasting, emptiness, and aged urine. Emptiness and aged
Mm,
urine. You combine those two,
mm,
or you got some power
mm,
shit there, bro.
mm,
I wouldn't even
mm-hmm.
put sun gazing up there. I love sun gazing. I wouldn't even put
Right,
grounding up there. I love grounding. I wouldn't even put
right,
yoga up there. I love
right,
grounding. I literally put
right,
aged urine and fasting at a
right,
level that like right at the top for me. From what I've experienced so
right,
far. But by the way, I'm new to this. I'm only 4 years into this. You know, I'm not
right,
like an old
right.
timer like you.
Okay. Well, I mean, as you see, I mean, I'm learning from you today, and I'm not. I mean, we can. No matter how many years in the game, I mean, I think that the lesson is that none of us know it all, and while as you say, light workers, is that correct? Is that the right terminology? As a
Yeah, that's
light
what they say these
worker,
days.
right?
Light
As a
worker.
light
Yeah.
worker, you can continue to be, inspired and re-inspired. So you're a huge inspiration. You've inspired me to really take these protocols to the next level. Um, if there's anything else, we can. I guess we can wrap this up. There wasn't any other questions that I had. Is I mean, tell us. Well, tell us what you're doing. In the you're in the UK. tell us what you're doing and what what's the future hold for you.
Oh, great question. I love that, man. So my future's pretty exciting, bro. Obviously going to write many more books. I've written a holistic health Harry series. I've written 6. I'm going to release the 7th in 1 week or 2. I've got plans to do many more on the most powerful shit. So I do one on plant medicine. I'm messing about with a lot of powerful protocols I want to get down in books. So my future involves becoming the best version of myself possible and healing myself. So that's going to be more plant medicine this year. More psychedelics, more music. I'm getting into music because I found music. I'm learning the ukulele. I found it very healing. I'm going to travel a lot more. I also want to set up darkness retreats in the UK. I'm also got a project in Portugal, a health retreat that I'm working with guys. I lived in Portugal last year. So basically, I've got a lot of. I'm one of these people. Just I like to do a lot of different things. I want to make progress. I want to be a leader. I want to be an inspiration to other people, and I'm always got ideas. I want to make more money, become financially abundant. So to answer your question, I've got a lot of little projects. I network a lot, so I've got a lot of abundance with good friends and quality people to hang around with. So I've just got a lot of little opportunities I'm going to go with to help in the health world. I'm definitely focused in health. Physical health world, that's my obsession. Urine therapy, aged urine, fasting, eating fruits, vibing, grounding, sun gazing, cloud gazing, man. All the good shit. It's all good.
I mean, again, like I said, you mentioned the fact that the power of social media and how, connecting with people really from around the world, how it was able to really accelerate your knowledge and, learning from other people you would not have normally gotten exposure. I mean, when I started, 30 years ago on this journey, I mean, I don't even know if I was really, I certainly couldn't hold a phone up in front of me and, have a conversation like this, let alone get access to any type of information in a matter of seconds via the internet. So yes, the technology, it does have a place. It does have a benefit in terms of growing. And I mean, you're certainly on the right track. A lot of the things that you mentioned, I just think about in my own journey because, obviously all of these things don't come at you at one time, but, within a short period of time, 4 years is not a long time, to sort of, because once you really understand about, being healthy, and obviously being healthy really starts with your diet and then your state of mind and then your lifestyle practices. One thing as, you and I, it's like, it doesn't stop there.
Nope.
It doesn't stop there. Like we have to continue to challenge ourselves, to be re-inspired. And so that is what you have helped me to do. So I thank you for that. I'm gonna put it out there that we will, actually be able to see each other in the physical form, and I can have you sign my books or sign your books.
Bro, I wish that, because I'm one of these people where I love meeting people in the physical more than you guys can ever imagine. Social media's transformed my life, but I want to move all my relationships with people that admire me, look up to me, on my level, above me, whatever you think you are, whatever level you think you are. I just want to meet up with people, man. So I definitely want to meet up with you and sign those books, and I will be doing that. I say this to people, and I actually do. I travel a lot, so we will be meeting up with each other.
All right. So, okay. Again, we'll leave it there. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. You're going to show me how to download this so I can upload it to my YouTube channel. And
as long as you, at the end of this, don't not save it. It's gonna, as soon as you close this, you've got to press the save. I'm just going to give you share it to IGTV. Make sure you share it to IGTV. Okay. Write something quick. You'll be okay. As long as some people don't do that, you'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I definitely make sure I do that. All right. And so, all right. So we'll leave it there. Again, I want to thank you again. Go ahead, Harry Matadine, author of Aged Urine Rediscovery of the Century, among other books. You can get them. You can get it on Amazon, get it on Kindle, download it right now, read his books, check them out. It's like powerful information. So again, I just want to, again, I just can't thank you enough for doing what you're doing, and just continue on the path towards the light. So
Thank you so much, Kephra, for having me on. I really appreciate it. I would love to return the favor and have you on my IGTV too, my lives. That'd be
Yeah,
great, man. To show
yeah.
your
Just let me
story, 'cause
know.
obviously it wasn't much time for you. This is all like me talking, so we'll do the
Right,
other way around, man. Be
right,
cool.
right, right. No problem. Okay. All right,
All
all
right.
right. Y'all be easy.
Cheers, guys. Hey, cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers, man.